The Secret of Light by Walter Russell. Chapter 12 is entitled Instinct. Organic matter generates purely from the desire of mind to manifest idea in matter. That cosmic desire to create form produces the desired form. Desire is the motivating force of all creation. Man begins to express the idea of man as a single cell. The whole idea of man is in that single cell. It then unfolds in orderly time and space according to cosmic law. Likewise, the whole idea of all creation is in that single cell. All idea is omnipresent. There are no parts of the whole. Each step in the unfolding of the man idea follows the continuing desire for unfolding. Cell memory of purpose is given to each cell as it unfolds. Pattern of idea follows in sequence as desire in God mind and desire in the growing idea work together to express the idea in form. Every action of unfolding man is a part of the unfolding of the man idea as it exists as a whole in God's mind. Any desire of mind, therefore, a two-way extension of the light of that idea from God to man. Whatever God desires to express in man, he will express, for he is man's creator. Whatever man desires, the God in him will create. Man must, however, co-create with God according to God's universal law. If man breaks that law, the law will break him to an equal extent. Life is a sequence of experiences. All of the expressions of desire in the unfolding of any idea are a part of the idea. They are experiences and decisions. All experiences are part of the unfolding of any idea. Whatever those decisions are, however, they are recorded upon the individual man as his own interpretation of the man idea. Likewise, they are recorded in the whole of the race of man as a sum total of all desires and experiences of the whole man idea. As the idea of anything is one, so also the parts of that idea are one. Instinctive intercommunication. If it were not for instinct, animal life could not survive or develop. Instinct causes mechanical actions to take place in all bodies to meet the necessities of existence. Instinct protects animal life from enemies. It tells the proper food to eat, how to build nests, how to take care of its young, how to return home when taken great distances, as the carrier pigeon does, and countless other wonderful things that animals do. A salmon, spawned in a certain river, instinctively leaves that river and makes its way to the sea until maturity. At the proper time for its mating and spawning, it then returns over thousands of trackless miles to the very river in which it was born. It is instinct which tells birds to fly south for winter. Instinct tells them the direction of south. Instinct tells them it is warmer in that direction. Instinct likewise governs the migration of seals, the building of the beaver's dam, and the weaving of the spider's web. Instinct might be defined as a cell memory record of all actions of a body and of all the sensations caused by those actions. The beginning of instinct. Without instinct in all animal and vegetable life, their evolution would not be possible. All creation of the Creator are the result of electric wave recordings of the Creator's thought. They are parts of the whole idea taken apart and put together bit by bit. They are the result of universal law of cause and effect. None of the creations of the Creator have in them at their beginning the power to think. It takes millions of years for complex organisms to recognize the spirit within them sufficiently to think at all. During these long ages, they are guided almost entirely by their instinctive reflexes. Man alone has begun to think, reason, imagine, create, and invent, and then only during the last few thousand years. Instinct is God control. Instinct is, therefore, God control over the actions of his creations. The involuntary actions of the body, such as the heartbeat or the action of white corpuscles, do not know their purpose in the healing process of the body, But God centers and controls every atom of his creation, and each must fulfill its purpose. Instinct building by God and man. A good example of the manner in which God and man work together for creative expression is the familiar knitting woman. Knitting is part of the man idea Knitting is part of the man idea which requires a skill. The woman who desires to knit must desire to acquire that skill. Desire must precede all expression of that desire. Slowly she takes one stitch at a time. All of her power of concentration is needed to take those first stitches. Each stitch taken, however, is within that desire for taking the next stitch. Very slowly, she interlaces yarns into the pattern required. The cells of her fingers gradually acquire cell memories of their purpose. These cells coordinate with other cells of the body in the development of the whole skill. Gradually, she learns to knit instinctively. Her mind is freed from concentration, and she may think of other things and converse freely. Her body cells alone will work from the memory of purpose given to them. Instinctive skills are thus imparted to bodies of man by the co-creative efforts of God and man. The pianist teaches his fingers to work instinctively in order to free his mind to think music. God is working with him. Without this moment-to-moment cooperation with God, he could do nothing. God, creator of all things, knows all things and has all power. Man and God are one. Man may know all things and have all power to the extent in which he desires to know all things and have all power. Awareness of the light in man will give him all knowledge and power. Man may not be apart from God at any time, nor can any part of creation be apart from God at any time. And a caption from the Divine Iliad. All things come and go from my divided thinking. All things go from very heart of me into my imaged universe, and when they disappear from me, there I also take them back to the very heart of me. Know thou that all creating things are resurrected things, again manifesting life of me through my divided thinking. Man divides his thinking in manifesting me. The body of man sleeps, that it may awaken in me to manifest me. The body of man dies, that it may be resurrected in me to manifest me. The body of man disappears, that it may reappear to manifest me. Man who sleeps or dies or disappears is but man's image, for self of man sleeps not, nor dies, nor disappears. For self of man is me. Again I say that I am one, and man is one in me, when he knows that I am he. From the Divine Iliad. Chapter 13. Unconsciousness, Sleep, and Pain. There is much confusion regarding the supposedly possible condition known as being unconscious. When we sleep or are anesthetized, we say we are unconscious, but we cannot be unconscious. We have always been conscious without the slightest awareness of it. Our confusion in this respect lies in mistaking sensation and thinking for consciousness. When we stop thinking, whether asleep or awake, we do not stop knowing, nor do we cease being consciously aware of our being. But we cease to set our knowledge in motion to express idea through the pulsations of thinking. Conscious mind does not sleep. Sleep is merely the negative half of the wave cycle of electrical awareness of sensation. Wakefulness is the positive half. All nature sleeps when the sunlight lessens the ability of all things to manifest life. Sleep is the death half of the life-death cycle. One may say, I am unaware of this or that, but one cannot say I am unconscious when one is always conscious. Conscious awareness is knowing. Unawareness means that one does not yet know. Knowledge is within him, which he cannot know Knowledge is within him which he can know when he desires to know. Sleep and wakefulness are positive, negative wave parts of a wave cycle, just as birth and death are the opposite ends of a life cycle. Sleep is but an anesthetic. Sleep can be induced chemically, either to the whole body or any part of it by desensitizing its cells. When the body or parts of it are thus put to sleep, they have not been rendered unconscious. Their voltage has merely been lowered. The dentist does not refer to a local anesthetic as having produced unconsciousness. He refers to it as a desensitizing condition, but when the surgeon desensitizes the body, it is then supposed to be unconscious. We assume that the brain has stopped thinking. The brain does not think, therefore it cannot stop doing that which it never has done. We assume that bodies cease to be conscious, but consciousness is never in bodies. A local anesthetic stops pain. Pain is a too intense electric current. The voltage is too great for the nerve wires to stand the strain. They burn out, and the overcharge of burning out causes the pain. When the nerves of the body feel an electric current running through them, the body is aware that something is happening to throw it out of balance. When the body is in balance, it has no sensation. When the body is unbalanced, sensation informs it when and where, otherwise it could not function. Wakefulness and sleep are merely the charging and discharging of the uncountable electric batteries of the body. If these batteries were kept constantly charged, there would be no such alternating conditions as sleep and wakefulness. This planet is carrying us on our uphill journey to our pinnacle. The sun is the generator which charges its batteries. The sun is that generator, but the earth is turning toward and away from its generator continually. As the sun's charging light disappears from one edge of the planet's rim at evening, everything goes to sleep. Conversely, all things awaken at the dawn. The batteries of all things on earth are being forever charged daily and discharged nightly. And a caption from the Divine Iliad. I center the moving shaft of my universe, yet I move not, although its power to move springeth from me. I center growing systems and changing cells of growing systems, yet I change not, even though their changing patterns spring from me. I center living things which manifest my life, but they live not. I alone live. Growing things are moving things in man's sensing, though they move not in man's knowing. Moving things are changing things in man's sensing, yet they change not in man's knowing. Even though fast-moving things of man's sensing move fast, they simulate the rest while moving, from which they spring into seeming motion. From the Divine Iliad.